The following views expressed are those of the speakers and do not represent the views of DoD or its components.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
Probably like 5 of us at Remedial Swim. And my man Dixon, like he was my homie, right? So me and Dixon like always talking to each other. And we was, everybody was leaving. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how when you're in Remedial Swim with your group, it dwindles down. So it started off as like 5, 6 of y'all. And then it's like 3 of y'all. Then it's like, so me and Dixon was the last 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, we just gonna ride to the end. I'm like, I'm gonna do it for as long as you do it, man. So they, you gotta jump in that water. You do the same test every day. You get to that point where you do the test.
Yeah.
So I'm prone floating. And I like after like 2 minutes, because you got prone float for like 5 minutes. After like 2 minutes, I realized that like I'm good. Like I'm gonna make it up out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So I'm good. Like I'm like, oh shit, because the swim after you learn how to swim, the backstroke and all that, that's easy. You're gonna swim because you got prone float first. So I'm prone float. I'm like, oh shit, I'm good. I see Dixon like
struggling real.
And I'm like, yo, I'm out. Like Dixon, I'm done. I'm done, baby. So I left Dixon ass. Dixon had to go to Remedial Swim on his own, man. I think like the next day he made it. Like he probably was like, yo, I'm tired of this shit. But that I had to get the fuck
so let me tell you about my Remedial Swim though, man. I gotta kind of like, so at first they was telling me that I had to do it during my service week, right? Yeah. At first they were saying that, but then I end up some kind of way they end up sending me like every day for a little while. So I was going like every day, and dude, I was having fun over there. You know what I'm saying? In the water, like mess with these guys. These guys was showing us, what we need to do. And then at the end, when I got, did the little prongs thing or whatever, and then he said, only thing you got to do is go to the end of this pool and come back.
Yeah.
Anyway, just go down there and come back and you good.
Go. All you got to do
and
is
guess
make
what?
it.
Man, I got him. And then I was on my back, and I already could swim a little bit on my back anyway. I just couldn't go, whatever. So, dude, I got in there, man, went back to that. It was so smooth and so easy down there and back, man. He's like, all right, you good. And that was like the end of my Remedial thing, man. So it was.
So how long was you in Remedial for?
Dude, it wasn't long. I'm talking about like probably less than a week.
Oh, for real? Yeah. We was going like we had to get threatened. Like it's like, yo, y'all gotta get up out of here, else y'all going back. I'm like, I'm not going back.
They'll ask more your ass for anything.
Yeah. It's like we get. But I was a section leader too. I was a section leader in boot camp. So you're in charge of your whole. So me, I'm like a pseudo perfectionist almost, right? So it's like my shit got to be perfect. So my rack was perfect all the time, like everything, corners, everything. But my section, another thing about me that I had to learn at boot camp was I'm gonna leave you behind, man. Like I'm not like my section. Some of them dudes was trash. It was this dude named Buster that was completely trash all the time, right? And Buster, that's my guy. But his rack was always bad, and that used to I weighed more than I was supposed to too. So they was trying to work me out. And they used to make me drop all the time for Buster rack. And in those times, Buster I never really was mad at him, but he used to piss me off about his rack. I found out later in A school when we was chilling together, Buster told me, he was like, yo, I used to like mess my rack up on purpose because I like seeing them work you out, man. You look like you were struggling so much. I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker, man.
Buster's about to get knocked out.
Yeah, Buster my guy though, but Buster was tripping, man. Buster Jamaican boy, my boy, man. What's up, man? How you doing?
Man. Hey, first, man, let's welcome everybody to another episode, man. Permission to Speak Freely.
What's up?
So yeah, man, I had a pretty good week, man. Well, I wouldn't say it was pretty good, but I had this one little thing that happened to me that kind of took me out the game, man. I had to go out, get a room, and all type of stuff, man. I had
Virginia, right?
No, here at home.
Okay.
So I had a water leak, man, in the front. So, whatever we call, the city, whatever city comes out, and we find out the leak is on the water meter itself, right? So the plumber come, the first plumber from city say, hey, we don't own this. We don't own none of this inside your community because I got a gated community. We own everything outside the gated community. So I said, okay. So I called HOA. HOA say, hey, the city own it. So they both blaming each other. So what I do is I go put them both on the phone. Me personally, I put them both on. I put them both on the phone, right? So they argue for a few minutes on the phone, and then the city, I guess, wins. So the HOA talking to me. So HOA end up sending a guy out. So then the guy comes out and he say, hey, that's on the meter. I don't touch meters. I'm a plumber. I don't do meters, right? So I call HOA back, and guess what, dude? From having this no water Friday, guess when I got water back in my house, man? What? Tuesday. Because it was during the 4th of July weekend, so I ain't had no water.
So you ain't cook out or nothing on the 4th of
July?
That's crazy.
And then I had to get a room because we couldn't even take showers and do anything, man. So then end up Tuesday, HOA, the city, whatever, they just put a whole new meter in. So now, and then on top of all that, man, I got a bill about a month or two ago, was $2,000 water bill.
Because of the leak. Yeah, because of the leak, right?
But I didn't know that because the lady said you got a $2,000 bill, so you must got a leak in your house somewhere. She said sometimes it could be your toilet, sometimes it could be all this stuff. So I'm like, man, I can't find no leak nowhere. So I guess I got to pay this bill regardless because this is subcontracted out. So they don't do none of this stuff. They just know I got a bill, So I started paying the bill. You know what I mean? I ain't paid it all at once, but I started paying on it or whatever. And now I told them they need to look at this shit again because this leak was a deteriorated meter. So that shit been leaking over time, man. So yeah, we'll see what happens though. How's your week, man?
It's crazy. I mean, just on that though, it's crazy that like we pay these people like HOA and all of them, we pay them money, and then when it's time for them to do anything, it's a problem, man.
Dude, you don't even know how mad I was, dude. You don't know how mad I was, man. I was
crazy.
Like,
like we giving like insurance. That's I'm an insurance hater or whatever. But like we give all these people all this money, then when one thing happens and it's time for them to do something, it's a big fucking issue, man. Yeah. Sorry, I might curse more than I intend to today. But another thing about that is we had like a leak in our house. Our bill went up to like $450, our water bill. But my wife, man, is who she is to try to find some way of getting out of spending or paying some money. She wound up putting us on a payment plan or whatever. She hit them up. She was like, hey, we think we got a leak. Is it anything y'all could do to subsidize this or whatever? And they was like, yes. And then when y'all find a leak, we'll square away the money, how much you actually owe. So you might be able to talk to them and let them know you had a leak.
No, they looking into it. So hopefully they take that whole bill off. So hopefully.
Okay. And then right before the 4th of July we had a housewarming on the 3rd. So right before our housewarming on the 2nd of July, we found a leak in our guest room. Then that's like really like crazy to find a leak in your guest room right before your housewarming. But we found a leak in the guest room. It's like a slab leak. That's what I think it is. It's a slab leak. It's water just like the floor is covered in water. So we got somebody coming to take a look at that as well. I called my plumber, my like resident plumber. He's like, yeah, just cut a hole through the wall and check. And I'm like, man, I saw way too many horror movies where people start cutting their house up. The dad go crazy. He the first one to get abducted by the ghost. So I was like, nah. I was like, let me just get a professional out here to look at it. But that's probably gonna cost us thousands.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I don't even want to get into that, like all the money that it costs when that's a whole nother episode talking to these young people who plan on buying a house. The money that it costs when your roots up to your shoulders, when your hot water heater go out, when you might need to do some stuff on your roof, all that stuff costs money and it hits you hard. Meanwhile, you're trying to furnish your crib. It's so much stuff. But this week, remember last year, I talked about my knee having a problem. Yeah. I finally made it to medical, man.
That's good, man.
Yeah, I finally made it to medical. They hit me with it. We not going to do no radiology. I knew that was coming. I was kind of bitter with it. I'm like, man, I had experience like this before. They told me they wasn't going to do radiology. And come to find out, my knee was torn in 3 different places. She was like, so what you want? You want radiology? Then I was like, damn, it's that easy to get radiology? So I told her, I was like, no, I go with the physical therapy. She was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to work together. I'm gonna give you 30 days at physical therapy, and if by the 30 days you still got the same issues, then we're gonna go ahead and do the MRI. She just like, I just don't want to put both your knees in the radiology. Then she tried it. Then she hit me with the, like what we might see when we look at it is just the general thing we see when people, starting to get up in age. I said, hold on.
I'm surprised. I knew that was coming.
I knew that was coming. Go out and free, man. Don't tell me that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but man. I know it's been some time. I probably ran more than I'm supposed to run after the first knee injury and shit like that. So I probably need to dial it back. I just ran this morning, so I probably needed to dial it back a little bit. I know you probably saw that come through your iPhone. Yeah, I know you've probably been seeing less workouts from me covered it through your iPhone too, but I'm trying, man. It's hard, man.
Yeah,
sometimes,
especially when you start going back to work.
Yeah, and they always say they want to do things outside of like we want to give you time to work out, but it's always something going on outside of whatever the scope of the working hours is. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this conference call.
Always.
Damn, that was when I was gonna work out. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
So you gotta work out super early. So now it's like, all right, if I want to work out, I have to work out at 4. Like if I want to, and I don't gotta be to work till 9. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if I want to work out, I gotta work out at 4. Back home by 7, shower, and then ready to go so I could go to work. And the gym on base now, though, they just reopened it like fully, so we might be straight.
Yeah, that's good.
That's pretty much it. Like I said, I had the housewarming, had the family over. That was cool. July 3rd, Pops came through. He cooked the meat that he made. I mean, he cooked the meat that he bought, left the meat that I bought in the fridge, and he slid the hell up out the crib. He said, yo, I'm out. He said, yo, should I just cook all that meat? Like this, it was all this plan was. He's like, should I just cook all that meat, Don? I'm like, nah, Dad. You know what I'm saying? You good? We could just hold off till more people come. He's like, I'm gonna make the steak. So he made the steak. It was still some brats, some pork sausages, some Italian. He was like, yo, I'm gonna take a shower real quick. He took a 2-hour shower. After his 2-hour shower, he was dapping me up like, yo, I'm out. Like, yo, what's up with that sausage? What's up with that sausage in there? But yo, he came through. He bought some food. He bought his own food. He cooked. Shout out to the Reading Terminal. They got the best turkey sausage ever, and they gave it to my dad. And he came through on that grill, man. So that was a great time,
man. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
So did y'all do anything for the 4th? If y'all was you was in a hotel with your whole family?
Yeah, man. We ain't do too much, man. We was chilling. I got a chance to put some burgers and dogs and things like that on there, but it's not my normal, routine when it comes to barbecuing, man. I normally go all out on those
was
days.
it on like the grill at the hotel?
Yeah. Brought some little chacos out there, went out there, did some little stuff. They had little stuff out there, but it wasn't on, I got a Traeger, man, so I normally be on my Traeger doing my thing, man, but it's all
that
good,
was like
man.
Going down to the, that was like going down to the sticks using the regular grill. It was, what was it, a regular propane?
No, it was a freaking charcoal. It had one of them, one that's like built out of the ground. It's been there forever. You got to scrub to clean it before you start. Put some Lumifoil over the top of it. And I don't even normally cook with Lumifoil on top of my grill.
Take the dead rat out the
man. All that good stuff.
But at least y'all was able to, enjoy some. Did you make sausage? I know you make some,
Yeah, well, we always do the brat thing. You're always going to do your brats. You always going to do your dogs, burgers, and stuff like that. But
Man,
I didn't do my chicken. I ain't do my ribs. I ain't do my, tri-tip. I ain't do none of that. And the thing about it though, with all the food and stuff, man, is where your kids, man, they look forward to it. Like my kids, when I get on that grill, man, they really know I'm finna eat today. You know what I'm saying?
I look forward to it. Man. Next time, let me know next time you gonna fire that thing up. Man, I might have to fly out there, man.
I'm telling you, gotta fire that thing up.
But at work, one of the things that's been going on is I've been working by myself. I work by myself, so we talk about it. We talked about it a few times so far. But I'm ADCO, a regional ADCO, and I'm not saying a region purposely. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a regional ADCO. That's Alcohol and Drug Control Officer. Yeah. And if you didn't hear it already, I work with the DAPAs and the UPCs. So we do self-assessments on their programs, make sure that everything is running in accordance with the instruction for both the UPC program and DAPA program. And believe it or not, man, it's new information about both these programs like every single week, right? So the people in Millington, OpNav, people in Millington, all over CNIC, it's all over. We get like really good information every week about the alcohol and the drug program. So there's no shortage of information or resources in any of these programs if anybody's interested in it. But in doing this now, I don't have a division, right? So it's junior sellers around me. I see them. Some of the dabblers are first classes, but it's more, you want your dabblers to be chiefs and above, and you want your UPCs to be chiefs and above. That's actually in the instruction. It's recommended. If your UPC is not a chief, then every month or so you need a chief to go and inspect that program. So I don't really get to interact that much with junior sellers. So I love talking to like the first class dabblers and stuff like that. And then the junior sellers that come around, we got a semio at my command that's a first class. So, I'm always helping him out, giving him some stuff like that. Like, I want to see him, grow and shine. But it's like almost I'm like trying to, the troll bridge, like the old like fairy tales or whatever, where like people walk over the troll bridge and the troll come out reaching for something. That's me. I'm like a troll, man. Like I see a junior seller and I want to grab him up. Like, hey, come to my office.
What you do?
Like, come to my office. So, but they come and we talk and I'm like, yeah, I'm EMC, but like they don't have to see me. It's no reason why they have to.
Yeah.
So, I might go a long time without seeing them, man. It was like a breath of fresh air just seeing some junior sellers at the pizza truck the other day, just talking to them, having a good time. Yeah. So to kind of shorten this, to make a long story less long, that's the one thing that I do miss about my last job, being on sea duty. And this is the first time in my career that I didn't have a division. This is the first time in my career I didn't have a quarters where I was either standing looking at my leadership or standing looking at my junior sellers. This is the first time ever. It's different. It's definitely something that I gotta like reach and take some collaterals just to be able to interact with some of the junior sellers and stuff like that. But I'll get over that pain of not having junior sellers.
Oh yeah, man. I tell you one
reach
thing.
Out to them.
Yeah, it's hard though, man. Like even for me, I don't have juniors. I got one first class, and everybody else is like chief and above. But it's hard, man, because everybody kind of like take care of their own shit. You don't have to like worry about them that much, and then you got this 50% manning thing going on, so you kind of don't see them. I go to the office every day, of course, but they don't have to, so I kind of don't see everybody like every day. I mean, I talk to them pretty much every day because they got to check in and stuff like that if they don't come to work that day. But it's most definitely one of those things where I'm so used to talking to junior sailors every day. I'm so used to not just talking about Navy stuff, talking about life stuff, man. You know what I mean? Things that they can do or things they want to do, the questions they ask. Like, I don't have none of that interaction. The only interaction I got now is like some of the junior sailors may hit me up on Facebook and ask me something or something on Instagram or something, but the interaction of seeing sailors, because when I was on the ship, man, somebody was always knocking on my door, man, coming in and want to talk about something, even if it's just to say hi, what you doing or whatever. It's something we was talking about, so you most definitely think about that stuff, man. And I ain't gonna lie, if I had more time in, I probably wouldn't do 3 years here at my command. I probably would cut it short and go back to sea. But yeah, man, because I'm a go guy, and right now I go on ships and do inspections, but it's still not the same. I talk to sailors when I go on ships.
Yeah, you get the interaction,
but yeah, man.
But what you just said though brings me to a different question. You was talking about it being a lot of khaki there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's more pressure? And I don't mean pressure in the terms of like you feel the pressure, but I mean pressure in the terms of like independence and responsibility. Do you think it's more pressure on khakis that's brand new at commands that's a majority khaki or civilian kind of group as far as their indoctrination to the command? Like, do you think that it's harder for them because there's nobody there that's showing them the ropes and it's more expected of them to already know things? You on it? Then does that question make sense? I know
Yeah,
it was kind of long-winded.
it does. And it is, man. I mean, I will say it would have to be hard if you a brand new chief that's there, you trying to establish yourself. But I feel like it's different though if you made chief there though, because they already know what you know.
No. You already been a chief or senior chief, and you just check into a new command. Let's say you go from sea duty to shore duty. Reason why I say sea duty to shore duty, because most of the systems on sea duty are the same. Yeah. So like your email system is the same. Are y'all getting that flank speed stuff?
Yeah, man. You already got it?
I for some reason I'm having issues getting into flank speed.
Which I'm gonna be working with that next year. I got to set up the symposium, so I'm gonna be working with that flank speed stuff. And trying to get
in flank speed already?
Yeah, I'm already in it. Yeah.
Okay. So so stuff like that. Like when you go to a ship though, mostly all of the systems the same. Like the how you order or whatever. Yeah. But you go to a shore duty, it might be completely different. Like for instance, for me, everything is different. Like we don't have like a share drive. We got something called a G2 that I don't know how to navigate. Like I'm still trying to learn how to navigate. But I just think for like it's not expected for me not to know how to navigate this shit. Like it's like, hey, just go on a G2 and do this and do that. It's like, yo, I've never been on a G2 before. I don't know how to look through the G2. So it is people that's going to help you if you ask for help. But it's not enough people that just naturally understand that you probably don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like this too, though, man. When I because a lot of stuff it's still stuff at work now I may not understand or know the ins and outs of it. But it's like this with me now at this stage in my career, right? It's like this. When someone tells me I have to get something done and it's in here, that's probably when I'm going into it and look at it. Right. Yeah. And then I'm going to learn it and I'm going to know it before I present it. Yes. I mean, that's just one part of it. But I'm not, trying to go to another command and because now at this command now, I got other people working for me or with me. But it's like I am mostly a DC inspector. I've been doing this DC inspection stuff for a long time, even though I did ATG before. But DC is DC, so I don't have to learn nothing new. Only thing I had to learn new is a new grading sheet, and that's not too complicated because they kind of say the same things anyway, but it's just worded differently and, things like that. But for somebody that's brand new, man, I tell you the only problem I have with it is, especially being at a command like mine where headquarters is a totally different place, than where you at. It's kind of hard trying to find your voice at that command. And then you got civilians there that pretty much, man, like a lot of these civilians I work with, they're out the Navy and they let you know real quick, I'm out the Navy. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to answer your questions. I'm not trying to talk about no Navy stuff. I'm out and I'm done type stuff. So it can be hard. So hopefully whoever that is or whoever somebody like they got good mentors or they can find somebody at that command they can go talk to try to make them better, man. But I'm finding out real quickly that it is harder, man. It's harder on shore duty.
Yeah, just the foundation, I think, of some of these shore duties. Like shore duty is always a program that's either haven't been established or it's like 8 months ago it was up and running. Now it just ain't been running for a while, so we need to get it back up and running or something like that. Like everything is like, hey, do we do fundraisers? Yeah, we doing fundraisers. I mean, and I know we just we had COVID, and I'm not talking about any command in particular, but I know we just had COVID, so we trying to recover from that too. And I think we're doing well. I think we'll get a little better, but it's different. Like sea duty, you pretty much jumping into a well-oiled machine for the most part, and you sliding in, and now I might say I like sea duty more than shore duty. I don't know if I like it enough to be like, yo, let me go back to sea right now. But I think I like sea. I know we talked about this on one of our episodes, but I think I like sea duty more than shore duty just for the camaraderie and stuff like that.
Yeah, I most definitely too though, man. I'm pushing towards sea duty more too. But the only thing with shore duty is the family side of it. That's
shore
the
duty
biggest,
is for you. Yeah, shore duty is for you.
That's the biggest.
Sea duty is for the Navy.
Yeah,
the country, Shore duty is for you. Not saying it's not for the Navy and the country, but shore duty is where you pay some of that extra attention to you.
Yeah. I tell you one thing, man, we think about, like, we talk about, our commands and stuff, man. It's that, like, I get this first, like, the vibe of my command when I step into the door. The first time I stepped in there, I think about my first 48 hours, right, of stepping in the command. I kind of can figure things out a little bit when I'm talking in my first, 48 hours of showing up at the command, right? So when I get there and I get to a command, it's like, okay, when I walk in the door, I find out, like, it's like automatically you kind of know who's the people in the room, right? Who's the people who's, like, you find out who your CEO is, you find out who your XO, you go I had to go to headquarters and find out who my CMC was. But me talking to my CMC at that time, which he moved on, I think he went to he went to the car Vincent or something. He moved on, but straightforward guy, kind of told me, like, what he think about, because he got all these end codes, you know what I mean? We just one of them. So he was telling me about what he thought about our end code and what we do over there and the expectations and all that stuff. But when I got back over there, I kind of knew my directions in my first 48 hours. I know what I'm going to try to attack first. It wasn't my job. You know what I mean? It was how things was going and how things was running. Then first thing I get there, and people know you kind of senior, so they start telling you, man, this is kind of stuff that happened to us. So now I'm starting to feel like what I need to attack, what I need to touch on, what I need to feel. So that was kind of my first 48, getting my hands around things and knowing what I got to do and how I'm going to go out and attack it. And then you're going to find out also when you're trying to, for your first 48, when all these people talking to you, you're going to find out they play a bigger part on why they not doing certain things and why they not getting certain things. You find that out too. And you have to let them know that too, though. Like, it all, you can come to me from one side of it talking about all this stuff, but I find out, it's more to the story. So you got to find all that stuff out before you start trying to make some changes.
Now, what happens when you go to this person, right? You go to a person and they reluctant to help you. Do you keep going back to that person?
No. It depends on what the situation is, though. If I feel like I'll go back to that person and he's supposed to be, like, say you the dapper, right? Yeah. I will go back to that person if it's a dapper issue. But I feel like
no, it's not the dapper. Let's just say that you it's just another person that either like your sponsor or just another person at the command and you just asking them simple questions like, hey, when do we do PT or when do we have duty? If that person seemed like they reluctant to answering your questions, do you just be like, all right, I'm gonna just probably go to somebody else?
Yeah, that'll be me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's most definitely what I'd be doing. I'm not trying to pull nobody, teeth to help me out with certain stuff, especially if I first get to a command or something like that. I automatically kind of know and feel, and it's a vibe thing too, though, man. Like, it's a vibe thing, and if I was brand new to the Navy, it'd probably be a little bit different. I may go back to them again. I feel like they've been there for a long time. But we kind of know the ropes, so I wouldn't be going back to nobody.
I could sit at this computer until I figure all of this out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I can open up this program and just keep navigating. I learned that just from being in for a long enough time. I just was talking earlier about just not knowing anything about, the G2, for instance. Like, I sat at the G2, and it wasn't because I didn't have anybody to ask for help, but I sat at that G2 and went through every tab. Like, okay, I'm going to figure this, thing out. And it's funny because what I was looking for, I still ain't found it. But I went through every tab like, yo, I'm going to figure this thing out. But I do think that first 48 is important for any rank. It's crazy. I feel like you could be a CMC and still have a bad first 48 if it's bad. And that's going to give you a bad, if you walk into that mess and that mess ain't, greeting you the way that, however it is that mess probably should greet you when you first come in, whatever you expect. You go to that first mess meeting. Let's say you get there on a day of a meeting and you go sit in and it ain't hitting the way it's supposed to hit. The junior sellers, it's the CO XO. If you're, and I'm talking about, if you're a CMC, and I'm not a CMC, but I could only imagine a bad first 48 for a CMC. Imagine a bad first 48 for a CO. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Imagine, and I'm thinking about like a junior seller. My first 48 on my first ship, I went during a time of leave. It was like Thanksgiving leave. Mm-hmm. My division wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? So it was like you came and then it's like, yo, you could just roll. And a lot of junior sellers get in trouble It's starting to be, and I don't have like real good numbers, but some of these guys come and they division not there or something, they get in trouble that weekend. You know, they might have another friend from A school that they go hang out with and they get in trouble.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the suicide rates. Like a lot of the dudes that's committing suicide is by a gun. They like between 18 and 24 and they live in the barracks. You know, and I don't want us to, we not, going to get into that this episode, but yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But a lot of those, when I thought about it, I'm like, it's a lot of first term sellers that live in the barracks. That's between 18 and 20. That's a lot of first term sellers. So those first like moments of your time on your first ship, that shit really matters, man.
Yeah.
All right, your first command, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Another really big thing happened this week is them quotas, man. Them quotas and the results came out.
Man, hey, look. Hey, all you focus groups, all you people that's out there that put these numbers together, man, you guys need to talk to us. You guys need to get on permission to speak freely because we, the people, want to know what in the hell happened to these freaking quotas, man. And I'm first off, before I get too in depth into this, I just want to talk about my rate, damage control. 9 first classes total.
Yeah.
4 E5s total. 1 E4. Now, I don't know the answer. And I'm just talking from my opinion.
You said 1 E4?
1 E4. Total. 1. And I want to know who that one, you know what? If you listen to this, find that 1 E4 DC man, and we want him on the podcast. Because I'm telling you that he got to be good. He or she has to be good.
Yo, but ain't what that was that the automatic petty officer thing for the E4s? Was that the automatic test, the joint where they ain't had to take a test?
Not this time.
Okay, all right.
But I think the people when they wasn't taking those tests, right? I think that had something to do with these quotas this time. Now I don't know the answer to that.
One person made third.
One person, one an entire Navy, one DC made it, man. Now I think the mapping had something. The map program had something to do with it, I'm sure. But I think these exams they was giving out, man. They was giving these. When they was giving them E4, right, or something like that.
Yeah, they was giving them E4. Yeah.
Was they even taking the exam? They wouldn't even taking it, right? They were just like,
because of COVID.
Yeah, so man, I don't know the answer to that. That's just my opinion. So if somebody out there they have a better answer than that, please let me know. Please hit me up because I want to know the answer.
Yeah. So I mean, anything else stick out besides the DC rate?
all of them, all the quotas.
Yeah,
it was all crazy. I just wanted to hit that DC one real quick, man.
But I mean, now it was a message on. They sent out a message recently though. My Navy HR, right? It says advancement results update. My Navy HR is aware there are questions about the released E4 through E6 advancement results. They are being looked into. More information will be put out early next week. So some people asking some questions, man, about these results. So it might be some issues.
It has to be. Yeah, it has to be some issues, man. We never seen anything like this, man. I've been in the Navy 23 years, man, and I ain't never seen that they'll make 1 E4 in an entire
That's
rate.
Sick. Have you ever saw a message like that? Like a message from Navy Advancement saying like, hey, we gonna look into these results?
Yeah. That's, I'm gonna tell you, man, that message is so big right there, man. Like all the stuff that we do in the Navy, all the results, all the quotas, all this stuff that goes on. That one message right there was so big to hear because I never seen it. I just heard it right now, right? And it is so big because now you telling everybody who did not make it, they got a chance.
Yeah, now you add that.
You add that little like, whatever, and that's what's going on. Now everybody questioning shit now. Everybody questioning, so that's a big message right there, man. So they better come out now. I'm looking at messages traffic next week.
Somebody head
because
on the
I want to
skewer.
see what this message is about and what they talking about. They jacked up. Did they jack up the quotas?
I'm telling you, man. Somebody head probably on a skewer, man. Because
I
always think the Navy's kind of harsh with. I'm like up and down with the Navy being harsh and not being harsh with punishing people, right? And I don't mean like when people get in trouble. What I mean when people make like simple mistakes, like if you make a mistake on an FC console or whatever. I remember when we was when they overflow with the water, when they flooded out the P-way a couple times, and the chick was like, "All right, look, y'all flood this P-way out again. We going down to 3 sections." You know what I'm saying? Like I would start writing people up, all that.
Man.
So I always think like sometimes we have to have room for error just so people could be comfortable doing certain stuff, right? But then on the other hand, I think everybody should be held accountable for some of the mistakes that they do make. And like, this is a big one. Like, this is a big mistake, man.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man, this is Navy times worthy. You know what I mean? This whoever when we find out who did this is gonna be some Navy time shit right now, man. Or whatever happened.
Yeah, this is like I'm like walking, like, like I said, I like to keep like a healthy fear. So if I'm standing EDO, if I'm like I'm walking around like making sure flooding what we got. Like let's make sure this boom boom boom. Like if you are about to announce nationwide, worldwide results for advancement, you need to have that same healthy fear. Like I shouldn't be the only person with healthy fear standing and watch that I've stood for 14 years. You know what I'm saying? Like you need that too.
Yeah.
We would get on the sound and security for maybe missing a sounding and flooding a space a little bit. That person might go to NJP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. This is detrimental to the ship, but this thing might not have a warning or a caution sign by it, but this is a big mistake, man.
Man, I'm telling you, man, like I'm really no shit looking at message traffic next week, man, because this is like crazy to me, man. You know what? The thing about it is though, the results came out. People gonna complain about everything.
Now that's what I was about to say. They might just come out and double down on it. No, what was you about to say?
But if you send that message out, now you done gave everybody the ammo. Now you think they was complaining earlier? Wait, now you finna see a whole lot of complaints now. You see that message?
They might just double down on it. What if they just double down on it? Like, but then that shows the power of social media and other forms of like reaching out to these people. Because now it's like social media is at its like, it's only going to get more powerful. But like right now,
it's powerful.
Like if I walk on a ship right now, is somebody upset about the results, right? That's automatic, right?
Every year, every cycle,
all the time. People upset about results, right? That's natural.
Yeah.
But now these people that's upset about the results, they have the power to hit up my Navy HR on Instagram or whatever like that and flood the inbox or whatever. So now, we getting more accessible with like my Navy HR. All of these platforms are wanting to have that interaction with sellers. Those disgruntled sellers that was keeping it on the ship, being mad at they chain of command about evals and stuff, now they can hit up my Navy HR, like straight to you.
Almost like a protest now, man. And bring their friends. They bringing their friends with them, man.
So things like my Navy HR might not know or be ready for, this just the normal response from when results get announced. Like, we know it. You see sellers walk around the ship. Sometimes they spirits, need to be lifted. And it's all of that. So my Navy HR might not be used to that, getting those messages straight. I got kicked out of a eval session before because one of my sellers went off. I think I probably talked about it before, but one of my sellers went off on the commander. You know what I'm saying? Because he felt like he didn't get the eval that he worked for. Yeah, I did. I think I did talk about it. I had to get kicked out. But I could like just imagine that because you got all these Facebook platforms now where sellers, they get on and they, ask questions and they, some of them had gripes I do got a little pet peeve about some of the Facebook platforms, like some of them, like the basic mentoring or like the EMP. I hate when the exam come up and people like cut in the 95 or they score real high, but they ain't make it because like just everything else that's in advancing, and then they be like, yeah, I see where I need to improve. Like, I be feeling like, man, you just want us to see that you cut high, man. Yeah. You just want us to see. You just want people to be like, nah, you good. It's just, it's the other stuff.
It's the
you
time.
good.
You ain't been in the ranking. It ain't your time yet, man.
Yeah, like
you gonna get it though. You gonna get it though.
Cutting a 99 percentile, dude. Like you don't gotta post that on Facebook. If you cut in the 34 percentile, then I'll understand you saying, yeah, I see where I need to improve.
Cut a 99 and then try to be humble.
I see. Like
got a lot more work to do.
You didn't put your whole, you converted it to a PDF and everything, so the whole world can see your profile sheet.
The entire profile sheet.
That cracks me up, man. That cracks me up when I see that, man.
But I tell you this though, man. Like I'm gonna say it one more time, man. I can't wait the next week, man, to see them talk about this message, man, because I just think they open up a can of worms, man, on this. And also, I mean, I'm going to be saying this probably on every podcast we on, man. If somebody out there got more information about this, man, please hit us up, man. Like, we want to be in the know. Like, we want to know what's going on. If you give me more information, our next podcast, we will bring this subject back up with more knowledge about what's going on, because I would love to know, and not just the results, the quotas too. Like, what happened? What happened this cycle, man? Like, people want to know, man. Like, sailors want to know why the quotas was so freaking low this time. And if it's a reason, that's all we want to know. We just want to know why. That's all we want to know. That's what we talk about, right? We talk about when we training sailors, we doing things, letting people know the why. And that's what we want to know. We want to know the why. Somebody let us know.
But then the E8, E9 quotas came out too. So those results should be coming out real soon too, right?
Yeah, man. Man, I actually heard somebody was just talking to people, man. It was what came out last, like, this Thursday or Friday, but I mean, yesterday, but then nothing come out. So, I don't know, but when those type of results come out, they never say exactly when they're coming out. It never like people always assume and always like, oh yeah, it's gonna come out. But people I never really knew when they was gonna come out. Just they convene. You probably can pick like a month or so after that. After a couple weeks after the board is over, that they may come out. But I don't be doing shit.
Is it customary for, if you a chief and you make senior chief, is it customary to get wet down? That's what they call it, a wet down?
Oh, the wet down? I mean, I normally see it doing master chiefs, but senior chief, I didn't do it. I can tell you that. Okay. But I probably would have liked to do it. But at the time, we was doing other things at the time, so that wasn't a thing. But yeah, I have heard of it.
Do we need to explain what a wet down is? You think we need to explain what a wet down is?
No, not right now. Anyway,
that's a funny name.
Yeah.
If somebody don't know what a wet down is, they might wonder. They might wonder.
You know what? That's what we'll do. If anybody want to know what a wet down is, we're gonna have it on our next episode, man. If you guys want to know, hit us up. Hit us up in the comment if you want us to explain what a wet down is, and we'll explain.
A wet down sounds scary, but good luck. Good luck to everybody. That's up for senior chief and master chief too. Hey, good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Same to you.
Everybody that's up for that, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. But I know, like, we work hard. We put a lot of work in. And a lot of times we burn ourselves out. And that's not just chief, senior chief, master chief. That's E1 through E6 too. Yeah. A lot of us burn ourselves. Sometimes your whole career could be a marathon. You know what I'm saying? And I know personally that's how I treated my career so far, was like a marathon. Like, I never had a point a year in my career where I didn't have a goal, like a heavy goal. From the first one being my first qual, to the Eastwise, to getting the EIL, to seller of the year or something like that, to my next one being the same thing. And in all of that, it requires work. You have to work. It's a full-fledged thing. You got to do your job first off, right? You got to make friends. I believe you got to make friends. I say that's like networking. Any professional environment, you got to have people that you could trust in other rates and stuff like that you work with. Like I always had an EN or MM that I could go to, a DC man that I could go to, a CS in pocket. I always had a CS, like, and that was just for the exclusive, mills. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that. And being an EM, you work in the galley anyway. But it's a whole 360 degree thing. And if you're doing it, like, if you read every single instruction you read as a leader, whether you're reading about SCAD, you're reading about ohms, anything you're reading about, it's a daily requirement and all of that shit. And if you're doing all of that every single day, you could probably burn yourself out. And a lot of people working until that. Yeah.
I tell you, man, my burnout, me burning myself out is like in sections in my career. I ain't gonna say it's in sections, probably the wrong word to use, but when I was junior, like real junior, I feel like that was the best time of my career because I wasn't really burning myself out. I was just doing what I was told. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Doing my job, doing my work. But I started burning myself out. And I'm saying I was burning myself out. And I'm gonna be real about it. And I said I started doing that when people started looking for me as a leader. Like when I became work center supervisor, I didn't want to look like I wasn't knowledgeable enough because people follow knowledge. I didn't feel like I wasn't knowledgeable enough, so I was always studying, always trying to make sure everything's squared away because I had people coming into work every day looking at me, and I didn't want to be the person that didn't know what I was talking about, didn't know what I was doing. So I stayed leading everybody to make sure everything was squared away for the next day. And then it started getting worse, to tell you the truth, as I made rank. Because now I'm an LPO, so now it's more responsibility. Now I'm a chief, that's more responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So your responsibility. So I wasn't necessarily saying it's burnt out, but at the same time, you have to make sure things are
like overextending.
Yeah.
Right.
And and the thing about it is, though, you have to make time for yourself too, though. Right. And I think that is the hard part of being, like, I don't know the civilian cycle. I never, I haven't worked in civilian world in 20 some years. So I don't really know. But I know in the Navy, it's hard when you on a ship to make time for yourself, to do anything. That goes to junior sailors too. It's just really hard because the demand and the stuff that's needed and stuff that people want done, it's hard. The stuff that has to have done shall be done. It's hard while you on sea duty. It just is. And I'm telling you this right now from going on ships, and this goes for every sailor out there, and this goes from getting burnt out or whatever. The grass is not easier on the other side. It's not greener on the other side. The grass is not green on the other side. Every ship has a crazy schedule now, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so what I'm getting at is getting burnt out and on these ships, and you think, man, I can't do this no more, man. I want to go to this ship over here, or I want to go to another command. But guess what? When you get there, it's that same level, of you having to try to juggle getting burnt out, or because that's the word they're using now too. The word burnout. Sailors using that word.
Burnout.
Right? I'm getting burnt out.
Yeah.
It depends. Go ahead.
I mean, for me, I probably got burnt out like 3 to 4 times. Just on the last sea duty tour. Just giving it everything. You know what I'm saying? I think before that, it was on shore duty. That's how I hurt my knee, overextending. I hurt my knee it was shore duty, man. We could be leaving at 2. Me and my guys, we done for the day. Somebody came up, and I had a goal to not. I'm an EM, man. It's not that easy to clear your work list, to clear your CSMP. It's not that easy as an EM because there's always something to fix.
Yeah,
I had a goal to have 0 jobs on the CSMP on shore duty. You think somebody was with me on that? But they were. My guys were with me on that. Like, yo, like we ate it up. Like, yo, let's not have any job on our CSMP. All we got to do is PMS. We come in, knock it out, go to shore duty. Let's take advantage. So it's like one day at like 1400, we had a guy come in and he wanted some lights removed from the ship. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. I remember EM3 May. Shout out to May. EM3 May, he was like, let's just do it tomorrow. Like it's cool. And May was a really good and hard worker. He picked up shit real fast. But he's like, yo, let's just do it tomorrow. I'm like, no, let's just go out there today. You know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, I'm works in a suit. I'm doing works in a soup stuff probably at that point to the best of my ability, but I'm also still trying to prove to May and them was like hard workers. And I'm one of them people that get like motivated by the hard chargers. I want them to see that I'm a hard charger too. So like I'm the works in a soup now. I don't have to go and do this. I was doing something else. I'm like, no, let's just go. Come on, let's go. May probably actually tired from all the other stuff he was doing that day. And I'm like, no, let's go. So we go out there and I fell in a hole. I saw my leg was up here. I saw it. I'm like looking at it and I'm like, yo, where's my phone? So we grabbed my phone and I left. I went to medical. It was a funny story. And they took care of me, but May was like, man, I told you not to go, I actually made first on convalescent leave. May was like, yo, we were doing too much, and then when I came back to the command, 100 miles an hour again, still as the first class, but it's full-fledged, man. Because if you go to a command and you do want to prove that you work, you got to do that, right? And then people might, you get the people like that be like, oh man, this person, all they worry about is collaterals, right? So now you got to fight that thing, right? So even if you do want to help out with collaterals because you want to be involved or you see things lacking and you want to actually contribute, you got to match the energy that you do with your collaterals with the energy that you do with your work. If you cognizant of that or if you feed into the people that's going to say that, right? So now your work is matching your when I first got to the ship, my last ship, I was leaving. We were in the yards. I was leaving at like 2000 every night, like my first couple months on the ship. Yeah. Like I hadn't even been there for a long time in the yards. I knew we had an inspection coming up, and I got hit with a couple collaterals as soon as I got there. And I'm noticing that happens at commands too. Like, hey, you want to do this? You want to do that? But I got hit with a couple of them. So I'm like, all right, if I'm going to do these collaterals, I don't want anybody saying that I'm not doing this or doing that. So now I'm going to work till 1800 on my job. And then those last 2 to 4 hours, I'm going to spend time, getting this program or that program up to speed. And meanwhile, my mom, every time I talk to her, like, well, you seem like you leaving later than you left before you became a chief. She said, wasn't you leaving after your chiefs at your last command? like I thought your chiefs left earlier than you. And I was like, yeah, they was, no disrespect to that, but I was like, yeah, they was my chiefs though. You know what I'm saying? I'm a chief now. I'm staying this late. She's like, then my mom was, oh wow, I thought chiefs got off early. You know what I'm saying? So, and I had to hear that a lot, man. But so I do understand what you're saying. Yeah. I do understand what but when you got that, when you got that sense of excellence, man, sometimes you forget about some of the limitations that you set on yourself. Yeah. Right? Because I'm sure you've set limitations on yourself that you probably already bypassed.
Yeah. Most definitely, man. Like, right? And that's the thing too, though, man. Like I was part of that, your 2000, thing that you was doing. For a long time. You was doing it for a long. You said a couple months, but I think you was doing it way longer than that.
Oh no,
man. You was always staying late. And I remember at one point, I was leaving like at 18, and I was seeing you still there. And I remember we having these conversations, like, man, you still at it. But
but I knew that one day, like in the last couple months of the time on the ship, I knew how it would be if I had a division that could, be self-sufficient. So I knew that I'm gonna have to pay it all forward. Like I'm gonna have to make sure that everything is like loss leader or whatever term we want to use. I'm gonna have to front load everything I have to do. So on a back end, one day I could chill.
Yeah.
one day we could chill.
Did that happen
you
for
know
you?
what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. Our last deployment, the one that you were on, and then of course after that was, the issue, the family thing. So it was less. So I'm actually glad I front loaded then, because that was less time to take, prepping for my relief. But that last deployment was much more relaxed than it, would have been if I didn't take care of a lot of that stuff early.
Yeah. I tell you, man, I was pretty. I still like to have my hands and stuff too, though. Maybe more than I, huh?
We had spurts though, like the scullery went down. I don't know how you're getting super personal, but the scullery went down, and then we had some ventilation. So we had spurts where it's like 2 weeks straight or something like that, where we know I'm working all day, and I'm like in my head like, man, I don't want to do this, but it's like the guy's tired, it's like, yo, we gotta go back in there again. They like look defeated, like Chief, man. It's like, yo, we gotta go back in. Like
that thing cash rep. Oh, that thing on that CSMP, man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You get to that point where your ching don't want to just keep hearing CAS rep. You feel like a failure.
Yeah.
Especially as an EM, like when you can't fix something, like you feel like a failure, like you're ching, man. And it's crazy because I remember me and Devo, oh man, we gotta call him one day. But me and my Devo at the time, Mr. Davis, we would be like really troubleshoot. We literally had like a cut wire on the ship. So we troubleshot the controller, right? And we pretty much narrowed it down to, this cable gotta be cut. You know what I'm saying? It is somewhere on the ship. We can't fix this cable. Like it's somewhere on the ship. We even got like the Fox and Hound. Like we figured this out, right? Me and EM1. And then we wanted to tell Mr. Davis, it's like, hey, sir, we cut, like this cable's cut. And then he started hitting us with the jokes like, oh, it's gonna be another CAS rap, like we CAS rapping this again, 2 days, how we go CAS rap? We hit him because of the scullery, we CAS rap, And I remember the captain was like, man, Chief, me and Mr. Davis went to the captain like, hey, sir, man, we not gonna be able to fix the scullery. It was jury rigged at some point. We coming back to it, and now it's an actual problem. First, we got to figure out how it was jury rigged in order to fix it. Boom. We don't have the right tech manuals. And if anybody at EM and they listen, they know it's like 300, 400 wires inside that scullery. And then the captain was like, man, if we could put a man on the moon, I believe y'all could do it, Chief.
I remember that.
Like, if we could put a man on the moon, I believe y'all could do it. And what did we do? Goodness, and I knew he said that, and that's the shit that your guys don't know. They the conversations that your guys don't know. Yeah. Like y'all don't know that the captain just told me if we could put on a man on the moon that we could fix this scullery. So basically what that mean to me, and me and the captain had a good senior subordinate relationship. So what that means to me is that I'm going to get this scullery fixed. The division, we going to fix the scullery, right? Yeah. That mean that it don't matter. The captain don't matter if we go on plates. He don't give a fuck. If we could put a man, so, I go back every day. The guy's like, Chief, man, like it's done. Like we can't fix. I'm like, no, like we have to like, and now no, like, but and then we wound up going up there. Mr. Davis went up to him. He was like, hey, sir, we put a man on the moon, so we wound up fixing it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's crazy, man. That's good stuff right there. Big shouts out to the CEO, man. Hey, I'm not even surprised he said something. He always got some good quotes.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Really funny guy, man. Fun guy. But and then so when you add all of that, then you add that element of you go to commands and you see the workhorse get overloaded. And that ain't just a Navy thing, right? That's not a Navy issue. Yeah. Like I don't want to like we not that where we talk about it's a problem in the Navy and all of that. But it's a problem, period, in jobs. So naturally you see it in the Navy where somebody coming in with fresh legs or like I'm on shore duty. I don't really have fresh legs. I'm coming off of sea duty, turbulent sea duty. We had a whole lot going on, but I'm just to the command. I'm a brand new guy. They don't know what I've been through. Right. So that's if I use myself as an example, but you get people coming with fresh legs or you just get a workhorse and you see that workhorse just continue to get more work. right?
Yeah, that's, and you know, I mean, and I think as leaders, man, and that's something we really need to look at, because what happened is like if I got my, you know, second class or whatever, first class or whoever it may be, or my chief, and I know they gonna get the job done, right? And I end up, that's my go-to guy. So end up, I'm saying, hey man, can you do this for me? Then, oh man, can you do this for me? And then all of a sudden, you're right, you just keep piling it up, and you piling it up, not really on purpose. You piling it up because you know that person will get it done. You know, so sometimes what happened is, and I know you will do this. You gotta either get pulled to the side and say, hey man, can old boy do this? Somebody else do this because I've been, you know, doing this and this, and I'm getting like overloaded. But a lot of times people won't come tell you that though. They just keep taking it on and keep taking it on.
Maybe complain when you ain't around.
Yeah. Or they may complain to their friend or go home and complain and don't really say, you know, sometimes we gotta like go to the root. And the root is like your the senior guy may just know that you can get it done, but he also has to think about the workload he putting on that person also.
And I think as a senior guy, when somebody new to a command, and I'm talking about a sailor with experience, so like a second class or a first class, something like that. When somebody new to a command and you see they got the legs, or you see they got the energy, or you see they got the, you know, just that go-getter mentality. Yeah, I think we got to be careful in what we ask of them too, right? Because you putting them in a really, in my opinion, you putting them in a really bad spot, because we have evaluations, we got midterms, we got all of these things that we judge somebody's career with. And I believe that a lot of people not going to say no if they think that they're going to be judged based off of if they said no. Yeah. So you got this person that's super motivated. They just get into a ship and they want to do good. They want to excel. They know how the eval system work. They know that the person that been there for a while, the old dog, probably going to be kind of up there, but they at least want to get somewhere decent so that they can rank out really good, you know, the next time. And you start asking them to do a million different things. They probably not going to say no, because they think the moment they say no, you going to have a bad first impression of them. Like, oh man, this person lazy or whatever like that. Would you think the same thing or what? Yeah,
most definitely, man. You have to take a look at it, man. And you know that goes back to, you know, what we be thinking and how we think when it comes to good leadership too. Though we have to be thinking about that, regardless of if a new sailor coming in. I think we should be thinking ahead of time on how we gonna interact. How we gonna put this sailor into the fold and put him in. How you gonna put him into the fold is not overloading him. From the beginning anyway, and see what the sailor about, see what kind of workload they can handle, all type of stuff like that, man. You have to be in tune with that stuff now, man, because if you're not, man, sailors get burnt out a lot, man. You don't know what, and then sometimes you don't know what they got going on. You got to talk to them and find out, because a lot of times, especially when people go to shore duty, a lot of times people go to shore duty, they come to shore duty to relax.
Yeah, like you tired.
Yeah, tired. Been on sea duty, so you most definitely.
When I came to shore duty, I was thinking like, man, I'm probably like EEO, equal opportunity. Like I could impact and I could help out, but I don't want to be a major player in that again for a while, because it took a lot out of me, psychologically, like emotionally, like and like. I connect with the job, you know, so in EEO, it's a lot of fairness you have with the offender and complainant, right? You got to be fair between both of them. But, you know, just even getting like back different DOC service, like it's a lot for you. Like 2 years, you going through this, you seeing all of this stuff. It's a whole lot, you know what I mean? And I was like, all right, my next command, I'm probably going to chill on EEO. But that's what I just keep getting hit up about. Like, hey, you thought about being a semio? You thought about running a diversity committee? And it's like, man, I just did all of that, you know. And it's not like I'm trying to deny you that, like, I don't want to do it. I don't want nothing to do with it. I just did it. You know, how can I help if I have a team? I can help, but I don't want to be the face of this or whatever. It takes a lot out of you or whatever. But what about the lazy? What about the other side of the coin. Have you ever seen? I've been at commands where I've seen a person that don't do shit.
Yeah.
Like thrive in not doing shit. Like be successful at not doing anything for 3 to 4 years. Like, yo, this person is known for being lazy, and that was like their collateral, bro. Like I've seen that.
Yeah, man, it happens. It happens, man. And the one thing that you always hear from stuff like that is somebody need to get a P. You know, you hear it with words like that, but that's not how we roll in the mess, though, man. It's a team type atmosphere in there, right? So I don't want to see no shit like no one sitting back not want to do anything. I understand that you may not be good at this, you may not be good at that, but everybody, man, we ain't great at everything, but we learn, we adapt, we get better, and we get it done. So, I see it all the time, though. I see it all the time.
I got a question for you. It's straight up out of the blue, but it's something that I feel like we should talk about here. Because you do something that I can't say I totally agree with, but we've talked about it. Let's say you got a first class that's kicking ass, right? Yeah. You got a first class kicking ass. He's your LPO. Yeah. Superstar. He a DC man, so he got 6 years in, right? Y'all got some 6-year first classes, right? So he got 6 years in. Made it a year ago, something like that, but kicking ass, one of the top guys of the command. Yeah. You got another first class inbound, right? This first class that's inbound got 10 years in, right? I know you might not be as squeaky on a career superstar side as the other one, but got more time and don't got nothing bad going against this person. Right, but they come in and they more senior in time. Yeah. Now this other guy that's more junior is the LPO. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when that senior guy get there about that LPO spot? Do you leave your shining star in that LPO spot, or do you give the more senior first class the opportunity to be the LPO?
Okay. First, I'm gonna answer the question, and then I'm gonna tell you why.
Right. And before you answer it, right, because you're a DC man, right? Yeah. So before we talk about this, let's get because you could insert the cheat code in here, and I don't want you to do that. So let's take the DCPO shop out of it. Period. Yeah. Don't exist. One division.
One division. Okay.
Yeah.
So first off, I will give the job when the senior first class get there. He's going to be the LPO, right? And the reason why I do that is because it's built into us, as in it being in the Navy. Rank is rank, right? Mm-hmm. Rank is rank. If somebody made first class over you, they outrank you. It's period, right? Now, where I draw the line on that is the fact of how good you are at your job, right? So you pretty much, when that first class get there, they're in a trial period. They gonna become the LPO, right? And then, or some first classes may get there and say, I don't want to do it. I have seen that before too. Right. Yeah. But in my opinion, and with how I run my show, is that guy is going to get the opportunity to be the LPO because he is senior. Period. To me. And so I feel like,
but you're not worried about, no, what was you about to say? I'm listening to you.
I'm doing it solely because of rank though. It has nothing to do with how good or how bad or how anything in the beginning. Right. Mm-hmm. In the beginning, it has nothing to do with none of that stuff. It's a rank thing. And I'm so used to this, though, because of how my shops are always, the ships I've been on been developed. Because you got different rates in my shop. And most of the time on my ships, the HT is the senior guy. Most of the time. Yeah. You know, it's hard for them to make rank as fast as these seamen. So I see this all the time, but I'm with you all the way, man. We're not with you, but I'm saying I am all the way one way on this. But I am so like transparent with this though. This ain't a shock. Yeah, it's not going to be a shock to my 6-year, LPO. He's going to know way in advance, hey, you got a senior guy coming here. He's going to get the opportunity to run the show, blah, blah, blah. It's done. So when that guy get there, it's a seamless turnover. I don't shock nobody with this.
But you're not worried about potentially losing this 6-year LPO?
Nope. Not at all, man.
Yeah.
Because
but that's privilege. You kind of got privilege though, because you a pretty good leader. So people believe they believe in your vision.
Yeah.
Not everybody got that. Now what happens is HTs are known to be assholes. You know what I'm saying? Most HTs most HTs are like just assholes.
Yeah, they could be a little shitty now. They could be a little shitty.
especially the saltier ones. So what happens when maybe this dude is good, but he's just an asshole, and the division kind of wish they had their 6-year first, that was just a second class with them back. What happens there? Do you worry about it, or you let keep
I don't worry about it. This is what I take on it, man. I take what the team is saying in, right? And then now when I take it in, now I am starting to look now. At first, I may not be looking for this. I may not be looking for the same thing the team looking for. But when it comes across my desk, per se, right, now I'm looking at little things here and there, because at the end of the day, the team wins the game, right? So I got to make sure everybody good to go. But then I'm gonna have to put this on paper though. If he's not performing,
no, he good. Like let's keep that going. He's good, right? So we progressing from the junior to the senior. I do got an opinion on that. I'm gonna share.
Yeah.
But he good, but he's an asshole. Do you care that your LPO is an asshole if your LPO is doing their job?
Yes, I still care, because at the end of the day, you got to have people to go out and work for you, right? Yeah. So you can be good at what you're doing, but if you're an asshole, man, that's gonna hurt the team. And I'm all about team, man. So if you've been an ass all the fucking time to your junior sailors, man, you're gonna lose them eventually. Yeah. Right. So that's not good. And we'll most definitely have some one-on-ones if that's coming across my desk, and I'm talking about it all the time. I mean, I know sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you got to beat that ass to get the job done. But all the time and just being like that stubborn asshole all the time, we're going to have some talks about that. No doubt.
So about that first part, I don't know if I have a hard line on that. I think I'm playing it by ear. I don't know. But I do know I had an experience. I was a first class, though, and I had a second. And the second pretty much was a part of changing the culture in the division, right? The division had a culture that I don't want to get into right now, but the second was a part of changing that culture, right? And he was junior. He came as a third. He made second. He became the works in the soup. He was a part of changing the culture. Then I had another second I would admittedly, probably should have made different decisions, but I had another second who was better than this second, right? Effortlessly better. The other second was a very hard worker and deserved everything that his hard work would, get him, in my opinion. And as a hard worker, I don't always mean turning and burning. I just mean like dedicated to task, right? Like just motivated, doing the right thing all the time. Yeah. The other second, who had more time, who was just a naturally better electrician, just different. EMs, if you come from a big deck, sometimes you might not have as much in your toolbox as a EM if you come from a small ship. So my other second came from a big deck, so he didn't have as much. But he worked to change the culture. He was very trustworthy, and he was dedicated to task, and he asked questions. Sometimes, sometimes we all thought he asked more questions than needed, but he asked questions, and it made me believe in him. My other second who came was, again, to repeat it again, naturally better, just a pure electrician, knew exactly what he was doing, and a normal, like, everyday kind of guy. Like I still talk to him. Like, we still communicate, we still carry a good. The other guy too, but the other one, like, we still have a really decent relationship. No matter how often we talk or not, we will probably go out and get a drink together if we saw each other. Yeah. Right. But when he came, I didn't make him the works in the soup. I knew he was good, but I just couldn't bear at this time. I was very young, but I couldn't bear to drop the other guy who I feel like I was gonna crush him, man, and I feel like I might lose him. Like, he worked so hard to get there to get to Works in a Soup.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, yo, this dude, the other dude was a star. Like, he's gonna be a star no matter what. Like, even if, and I knew it. I'm like, yo, even if he don't be the Works in a Soup, he's still gonna be like an EP. He's still gonna be out of here. Like, I just already knew it. Like, yeah, this might hold him back at this ranking board, but he's out of here. He's like, this dude was a star. So I knew that too, and that went into my decision making process as well. I didn't use yours where it's like he more senior. Natural. If I would have had that hard line, that would have been easy because it'd have been like, he's more senior. Let's figure this out until we, do. Now I don't know. I don't know if I think that I don't know what I would do now. I don't know if I got somebody more senior, if I would automatically put them in that spot. Because a lot of times you on it, like, again, you at the command, you're watching a seller work so hard to eventually become the LPO.
Yeah.
So. But I do think that it would still be a trial period on the more senior seller. I think I would have a sit down with them. I don't like I'm saying, there's no hard line. So I think, but I believe that I would say, hey, I know you more senior. I know that, we should be, probably putting you in LPO. I might just say this in my head, but I'm going to be watching him and seeing what impact he has or she has. And then if it's a natural move, it's a natural move. Yeah. Vice putting them in that spot, get it, and while they still got to get their requals and all of that stuff like that. Like, I'd rather see them get their leverage, and then if it's time for them to be LPO, and that might be my disguise. Like, when you qual up or whatever, or when they qual up, they, it's gonna be a natural shift if that person deserves it. I don't know though. I think about myself, and if I'm senior LPO and I'm coming to a command and it's a junior LPO, what would I be thinking? Like, yo, man, I need to come in here running the show. Like, I don't know. So I don't know. It's like one of them things tossed up for me. And I don't know if I'm trying to stay safe.
I'll tell you what happened to me, man. When I was in DC1 and I went to the carrier, man, it was like 5 of the first classes on the carrier. You know what I mean? When I got there, and I was a senior guy. I didn't even care though, because I was on a platform that I really didn't know too much about. Now, I know DC. I know my job. I know how things work in the DC world regardless. But I didn't know my way around. I didn't know anything. But, hey, time I got there, in about, 3 or 4 days, I was the LPO. They made me the LPO. So I think they had that hard line, too, on it like that, because I'm not saying the guys that was – the other DC one was bad or anything. They wasn't, But I think when I got there and they knew I was senior, I got that title. So it all worked out, but at the end of the day, man, I ended up making chief right after that anyway. So, the guy kind of got his job back in like 4 months anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, and then normally something like that normally naturally happens when those things happen. When people deserve things, I normally see them get it. But with all of that said, right? Do you think that ranking boards like is a determinant factor in some of the decisions, like the career choices and decisions that people make?
No doubt at all, man. Because now it's like people, we know now what we need to do to be successful, right? So we know what collaterals we want to try to do, or we trying to angle for, or we trying to set ourselves up for. Me on per se, I'm not really that type of guy. I want a collateral, like one. If I get 2, it's probably because it's forced on me. You know what I mean? I want to do my job well, though. You know what I mean? I want to lead my sailors well. That's the type of stuff that I want to do the most of, right? But when it comes to ranking, yes, people kind of know what they need to do and how they need to do it. And they kind of can, when they get to a ship or whatever and judge their way. Me, I'm kind of a momentum builder guy, man. I want to build myself up, until where I want to get to. And I kind of come in with a plan too, though. Like, it may not go as I want it to go, but I want to try to have some focused in what I want to do. And sometimes doing things that I haven't done before either, though. Like, a lot of times, like, I might have did CFL this command. So now if I go to another command, I may want to do DAP or, some other job because I've never done it before.
Yeah, well, look, somebody might kill me for this, but I feel like the top 3 people that's normally ranked in the ranking board are there because they should be. At the end of the day, they there because they should be. They not there because they feel the wicked or they made sure they hit a bullet. I feel like the top 3 people are normally the most present. I think for me, presence is a big deal at a command. Like, do people know you? And I don't mean just like know you just because you get around and you win everything, but know you like you have an impact on the sailors. You got an impact on the ship. I feel like the top 3 people at most commands are normally the ones that, they might fill the wickets, but they also got something else that's special. Then I feel like the other group are some of the other people that might rank high. It might be some politics and stuff like that. But I feel like the top ones are normally true, like tried and tested and true. I do feel like that. Like I feel like you could hold them up to the light and they still gonna be the same name. Just do it just to be ranked. I feel like they have it, and that's them first classes that might be coming to the mess that next year or something, or those seconds that might be first classes. I always feel like when it's time, you don't got to take a million collaterals. You don't got to fill every single wicket. When you that person and you shine, you number one. And that's when it get weird when people be number one and other people that's not number one be like, I don't understand why this person number one when they didn't do this or didn't have that, but I did this and had that. It's because they had that light, they had that glow. And that's just my opinion on the top, like the top 3 to 5 or whatever in that group. The other ones kind of like, and I'm not saying you might not have a group of 20 special sellers, but in some of the normal cases, those other people might hit a lot of those wickets that sometimes people worry about.
I tell you, man, that it's impact, man. Impact goes a long ways too. Impact is a big word, man, for me. I tell you what I don't like in ranking boards, man. This is what I don't like. Because I have been in a board before, and somebody gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm probably gonna get a message about this too, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Time you step in the board and somebody tells you everybody does their job. What else they doing? Not necessarily, man. Not necessarily. Everybody may not be doing their job to a certain degree. You know what I mean? We just so it's not necessarily what else they doing. So now that saying to me is saying go get collateral duties. That's what that's saying to me, man. Go get some collateral duties and go do something else while your division. Well, I ain't saying it is lacking, but there's a possibility your division ain't getting the attention it need to get because you worried about these 3, 2, 3, 4, whatever collateral duties. But I never liked it that saying, man. Like, everybody know how to do their job at this level. I don't know.
I don't know, man. That's not. That ain't the case. Do you feel like ranking boards like need any updates or improvements?
Well, this is the only improvement I think a ranking board needs. I think the ranking board needs something like they do the boards for Senior Chief and Master Chief, right? Something that's put in writing on what we're looking for. Like no shit, like from A to fucking Z. This is what we looking for in this ranking board, right? And then we have a checklist. A lot of times we get in these ranking boards, man, and we get in our feelings, about the ranking. Right. And that's what I learned young too, man. Like, if your sailor is better than my sailor, I need to freaking be okay with that.
Yeah, I appreciate that about you.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Your guy beat my guy out. I see it on the board. You know what I mean? He beat my sailor out. I'm not getting in my emotions about it because I know. You know what I mean? I know this sailor. But people get in their emotion about it. They trying to take care of their sailor. If your sailor performing, right? I see it. I see it too.
Yeah. Now, my question on that, or my thought on that, is like, is it ever a time where the ranking board is only as good as the person that's in there representing?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because if you don't, I'm telling you right now, I have been in a ranking board. You probably was in there with me, and we probably talked about this before. But I'm going to say this. We have been in a ranking board that we know that this sailor should have been higher than what they got. in the ranking boards, and we'll probably came back and say, why is this sailor so low? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but why you think that don't happen in the ranking board? Because somebody might be thinking that. Somebody might just be like, yo, senior just said we know sailor. Why you think that don't happen in the ranking board?
It should. I feel like it should happen. Man, the reason why it doesn't happen because of that. People care about their sailors so much it doesn't happen. Yeah. Oh man, I just beat this guy out. I just did this, so we good now. No, it's not about that, man. It's giving people their flowers, giving people what they deserve. You know what I mean? Every time. And every time. But I'm here to tell you this.
I like the honest boys.
Yeah.
You know what?
This is what I hate.
What's up?
When we talking about each sailor, man, I think another thing we should do instead of and I think we're doing this at my command now, but I haven't been on one yet, but I heard this side's happening. I said, man, that's a good idea. I think instead of someone getting up and reading and talking about their sailor first, I think we should put it on the board. You know what I mean? Everybody see it instead of let him read it out and talk about it. I want to see it up on a big screen.
Right.
Every sailor, especially if you senior, especially when this stuff matters to someone's career, I think every one of them, one at a time, we got 30 freaking sailors. They all should be going up on this board and letting us look at them.
Because what I was gonna say was I like the honest. I remember walking in the ranking board and somebody was like, all right, like we know your guy number one, like we know your guy up there, so let's throw him up. You know what I'm saying? I like that because that's honest. Like I don't gotta fight. Like I'm coming in like I'm gonna have to fight for something that I think the command should kind of know and understand. And then when you walk in there and somebody like, yo, we know your guy number. Like a ranking board should, in my opinion, it should be fair, right? It shouldn't be a battle between each of us about our sellers. It should be a fair assessment. When we get into a question of is this person better, is that person better? Then it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? But we went in the ranking board and I saw like a number 5 EP or something like that with 20 names attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Like now that's nasty to me. We got 20 names. So then you get this, like if it's 20 names attached to number 5 EP, that means you are damn near almost listing your top 25 sellers. It's like 20 names attached to it. And I might be exaggerating, but it's like 8 names attached to your number 5 EP. 8 names, because everybody trying to squeeze.
And how many EPs you getting? How many EPs you getting?
You're getting 6, right? But 6 or 5 EPs.
That's.
But everybody trying to squeeze their person into this EP or this number 5, right? And I know.
So if not, they'll be number 6.
Yeah. Then it's like, all right, well, no, all right, well, if this person went, then they're gonna be number 6. Like, nah, that's nasty, man. You know, then the sellers, you know, they coming out being, you know, ranked 13 or whatever like that, and ranked 40. And like really, I mean, you got pitched at number 3. you was pitched all the way at number 3. You know, sometimes I tell the command look at me like no. They had you pitched all the way at number 3. It just was a long battle between number 3 and number 40 for every single person on this list. You know, and that's I don't think that's realistic. Like it's not that many people doing all of this stuff. You know, and I think we just need clarity. For me, I think we need clarity on the different departments and like what everybody does and understanding what everybody does. Like I know my combat guys, my combat guys probably gonna hate me or whatever. I don't know if a CSAL underway and an EAL underway has the same weight. And I don't even know if we could talk about this without somebody from combat here. So, I mean, kill me. But I don't know if a first class EAL and a first class CSAL holds the same weight. I'm not going to say which one I think holds more, but I'm an engineer, so you already know that. But I don't know if they do the same thing. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So which one outweigh which one? So I'm going to need, and I'm not saying that an EAL weighs more, but I'm going to need somebody from combat at that ranking board to explain to me the weight of a CSAL, you know, because I know from my interactions with an EAL, what an EAL does. You know, when I go and talk to the EAL and I need to tag something out or do something like that, and the EAL is either telling me I can or I can't based off of what they know. And that's almost every EAL across the board. You know what I'm saying? Then I know, man, these CSALs about to hate me. I'm sorry. These CSALs about to hate me. Then I know if I go to a CSAL, it might be a difference in, and I ain't talking about a first month EAL or whatever. It might be a difference between CSALs, how much information I could get if I want to attack something out or if it affect their equipment. I've been to some CSALs that like laid it out for me. Then I've been to some CSALs that the moment we started talking, they had to make a phone call. You know, like, oh, hold on. I don't know if we could do this. Let's do that. And I understand the protocol and who you need permission, boom, boom, boom from. But I also understand when I'm dealing with you if you need information. And again, I would need a CSAL. I'm trying to save myself from these CSALs.
I'm trying. Hey, look. I'm gonna tell you what killed me with the CSAL, and I'm not. They gonna bash me. We always talk about this all the time. We always talk about the CSAL battle all the time. But I think the thing that killed me with the CSAL thing was not underway. It was the import thing. Right? That would kill me with it, man. Like, you got EDOs and you got CSALs, man. Like, for an EDO, man, it's mostly like a senior first class or a chief that's the EDO. Sometimes you get a second class here and there. You know, you get those guys. But most of the time it's a first class or it's a chief, khaki. CSALs import. It could be a third class, man.
Yeah.
You could be a CSAL.
Yeah.
Right? You could be like that. That's the part of it that killed me. Like, I'm like, man, CSAL freaking third class. And then it's just the rank structure of it, man. But I'm not here to say who's better either,
like
right? Because I don't know.
Be like 40 CSALs.
Yeah.
Man. Dudes be
studying
for a year to be an EAL.
You're gonna have probably like 6 EALs on board.
40
You're gonna have like 8 EALs on board, period, total.
Yeah.
You know, and then I don't know if the CSALs get the captain's signature. I don't know if they have a captain's board either. I don't know if that's a thing either, though.
Yeah,
so
I don't know between import. Like I said, that's why we would need.
We need a CSAL here. Yeah, let's talk about this CSALs. You know what I mean? I cannot wait.
I'm dumb. I'm ignorant. If you're a CSAL, I'm dumb and ignorant. Like, educate me. I need some understanding on that. Underway, it is different. And import, it is weird. Sometimes it is kind of weird. Like, you know, what's going on up there? Man?
Yeah.
And I love CSMC is my second home. I love it. I love going up there. They talk shit to me. We mess around. I look at their CSAs. So them guys love me back. So, hey, CSAs and combat guys. Love you guys.
I always talk about tag outs. That's what you guys always talk about.
Yeah, tag outs. You know, I've tagged out some of their shit by mistake before, so by a few occasions, and killed some of their equipment, because combat got that equipment that if you kill it, it can't just come right back up. Like, it's like, oh, chief, but you know, you killed it, and the batteries died, and it like it's like, damn, you know. But like, again, love those guys. But that's, I mean, I think for ranking boards, I think that's pretty much it. I just think we gotta figure out a way to scale and, like you said, have some form of precepts and structure, because you don't want to be like that topic out, that like point I brought up earlier about it could be as good as who's there representing you. I mean, I've seen moments where like a chief could be on leave and then another chief got to represent another chief seller.
Yeah, represents your person.
And they might be grossly like miscalculated or whatever like that. So, and then that person is gonna, like, a lot, if that makes it up. Another thing is when commands completely change it. You know, when the chiefs do a ranking board and then the senior chiefs do a ranking board, it's completely different. Then the master chief might do their own ranking board, and that's different than XO might rank, and that's different than CO. And that wasn't something that happened at my command, but department heads rank, that's complete. Then it's like, yo, like, where's the integrity here with the, you know, with this ranking board?
You know, and let me clarify something also, man. When I say something like precept or something, I'm not talking about when somebody, the board member, come in there and say, hey, these are the things we're looking for. No, I'm talking about something that's in black and white. We come up with on every one of our boards, this is what we are looking for. I don't want to get in there and say, hey, we want to see what his qualifications are. We want to see this, and somebody just says that in the beginning of the board. No, that's not really what I'm getting at, because that always happens. I mean, we always talk about, you know, board integrity and talk about this and talk about that. No, I'm talking about something that's like Navy or something, why it's written and say, okay, this is what we are looking at doing these boards, because these boards matter to sailors' careers on what we are looking for. If we got everybody in there doing, like, if I'm on a DDG and you on a DDG and we doing shit totally freaking different over here to make sure our sailor's there. This sailor over here could be totally way better DCman, but he's getting a different eval because we are ranking him a different way.
And I think we need hard line. I think we need a hard line with collaterals, in my opinion. Like, I don't think that 5 collaterals outweigh 1. I don't think 5 collaterals outweigh 3. I think you got your job, and then you got whatever impact you making outside of your job.
Yeah. And that same way. Now, I have never been in a board, but same way with school. School is school.
Yeah, school.
You know what I mean? I don't care if you got a bachelor's degree or a associate's degree. You going to school. You're doing your school
that's
thing.
The person's choice what degree they, choose to pursue or whatever. But you're not going to sit here and outweigh this person collateral. A training team is a training team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is to me. You know what I'm saying? A training team is a training team. You're not, this person's on 2 training teams. This person took the time out to do training team. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the stuff that kind of get me. Do your job to the best of your ability, and then if you're able to do something else, do the other thing. Like, collaterals are not the goal. That shouldn't be the measuring stick for any of this. When you talk about school, right? You talk about school, and you're in school right now.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm in school right now, man. But I just like. Really, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. Between us and our audience right here, man, is my wife got her master's degree, and I feel like I ain't trying to let her outdo me, man. Yeah. So that's my whole that's my whole form of trying to get my master's degree. But this is the issue right now for the world, and I need all you guys to listen to this. I got a problem with TA. Mm-hmm. My problem is simple. It's not a whole lot to talk about, but we know back, I think a couple years ago, they went back and they took. It went from what it was, having 16 I think 16 credits or something to 12.
Yeah.
Right. So now I only can take 4 classes a year. Right. Now I know it's other means. You can use your GI Bill, you can go do grants and all that stuff. No, I don't want to. I want to use the same damn thing. TA was 16. Make it back 16. I think 16 was a good number because if you do one class, you can do them on one class and you could do them the whole entire year. And then it turns over and do it. You know what I'm saying? You could do it again type stuff. But 12, that's only 4 classes, man. And you'll probably be sitting somewhere. If I wouldn't have started a little bit later, I probably already have done these 4 classes and be waiting October for it to renew in the new fiscal year. You know what I mean? So I know some people out there doing it like that. And then, I mean, it's other avenues. I'm not talking about the other avenues you can go. I'm talking about TA period, man. Like, why did it even go down to 12 in the beginning? I'm assuming it's a money thing or whatever, but I have a big issue with the TA going down to 12. Yeah. But that's neither here or there. But yeah, man, school is good, man. Keep me focused, keep me in the game. Of trying to be competitive when I got the Navy, and I know the Navy is coming to an end, one day. So I'm trying to be competitive in the civilian sector, man.
For you real soon, man. I've been doing some stuff too to kind of prepare myself for the civilian life. Me and a friend of mine, Wesley Pinkney, we just started up pizza business, Plank Owner Pizza. We've been doing some events and getting some stuff out there with the pizza. Well, I think we'll talk to Wes one of these days, and we'll get the whole story on why we started, what we plan to do, what some of our incentives are and stuff like that. But yeah, we've been doing all of that. I'm gonna go to Vegas soon. Vegas for business. I'm gonna go to the Pizza Expo, and I found out I put in leave. I was trying to take like 5 days, so it's Wednesday. It's Tuesday through Thursday. I was trying to take like 5 days. And I found out I ain't have enough leave. I found out I only had 2 days of leave. So when I first requested leave, I guess it didn't update from NSIPS, didn't update from the ROM. And then my actual 30 days. So I'm thinking, man, NSIPS must have missed something. So I still got days. Yeah. And then my director hit me up like, hey, you don't have leave. Like, you only got like day and a half. So I'm like, damn, I at least need 3. So I had to readjust my leave. I'm still going to be able to go to the Pizza Expo, but I was able to, get those 3 days. So now I got to chill for a minute and let my leave stack back up. Now I've heard about sailors having to take leave for medical appointments. Somebody was telling me about that, and that's crazy.
Man, hey, all you guys out there again, man, hit us up. If somebody at your command made you take leave to go to an appointment, it has to be. Please tell me it has to be a reason for that. It has to be some crazy reason why you will have to take leave to go to an appointment. And I know it's always two sides to a story, right? So I know, but I don't see the other side of this story. That's why I want to know, because I just do not see a reason or a possible anything when it comes to somebody taking leave to go to an appointment.
Yeah,
now,
that's a dirty.
You telling
that's
me
a dirty? That's a command move. That's dirty and nasty.
That's a command move, most definitely.
I see it. So anything that had you out the office more than an hour or two, you had to put in leave. If your kid or spouse gets sick, you have to take leave. That's a seller.
That's
crazy.
A seller what kind of command you at that will do that is that serious like that, man? Like, you telling me an hour you taking leave, and that's in black and white?
Yo, that's sick.
Well, that is crazy right there,
that's
man.
Your command.
We need y'all on the podcast.
That's your command, and you're a chief there. You gotta explain that to me, so I don't think you sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, because right now I think you sick, and I don't care what your job is. If you're a chief at that command and you go to chief meetings and the CMC in there, and you ain't bring that up yet, that these people got to take leave for appointments or issues like that, you are sick.
Somebody don't know about this. Somebody don't know. I don't think the CMC knows about this. Somebody need to bring that up.
Chief must not know.
Chief mess don't know about it. I'm convinced the chief mess don't know about this.
Because I just heard my CMC say recently that we need to take care of our sellers who got kids. Like, we need to make sure that you know, if they have something to do and we could support it, we support it, even if that mean on the front end maybe taking a loss until they figure something out, but making sure that we support what they got to do with their kids. We don't have time to be telling people that you got to take leave if you want. Like, that's crazy.
Man, you know how many times I didn't say that, man? Take care of your family.
Yeah.
Take care of your family, man. I didn't say that so many times, man. I don't care how minor or what it is. If your family think it's a big deal, take care of your family. And the same thing happened with my with the water issue I had, man. I called my department head up, and told him we didn't have water, and I supposed to went on a ship that Monday, like a ship that was leaving, and he told me no, take care of the family.
Yeah. But you got that old adage.
I mean?
You got that old adage that your family don't come in your sea bag.
Yeah, which is the wrong attitude to have, man. And I know I have said that jokingly, but I have said it, and I most definitely have said it jokingly, right? Jokingly. Yeah. And I have corrected myself. Like, you know, I jokingly, I made sure they know
like, yo, look,
it's a joke too, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But
that's
man.
A crazy, that's
but
a
some
crazy
people
statement.
some people do live by that code though, man. Like, they live by that code, but that code will get your ass in trouble too.
Yeah.
Though. You know what I mean? So you got to watch that shit, man.
Yeah.
You got to take care of your sailors, man, because I'm telling you, I don't care how successful you is, you would not get there. You would not get there by shitting on your sailors, man. You got to take care of them.
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's crazy to me, man.
Don't let that stuff happen.
I can't believe that, man. That's mind-boggling, man. That's almost like these what we talked about earlier, man. That's almost like these quotas, man, and the results, man. That's that kind of mind-boggling right there, man. Somebody say if I take my kid to the doctor, I had to go to the medical appointment, and I gotta take leave.
Yeah, leave, man.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. But what about have you ever sold? I mean, what about selling back leave? You ever know anybody sold?
Well, you know what? I'm glad you said that, man. I was listening to my Navy HR. They was having a town what they call it, townhouse meeting, or town meeting they have. Town hall meeting, right? And they brought up that question. They brought up a question about selling back leave and giving leave away, man, like giving it to sailors or whatever the case may be. My personal opinion on that stuff, man, is like, I think it's a good policy in place right now where they sell it back when people getting out the Navy and stuff like that. When you start talking about giving leave to another person, no, I just think it's gonna be too crazy to try to handle. That's gonna have to to freaking add a whole nother sailor to your command and try to deal with all that crap. Now selling it back,
what's up?
I think that's something that should be looked at. If a sailor wants to sell his leave, but he also know he has to sign some paperwork or something saying that I don't have no leave and you won't be taking, you know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have some emergencies. Like everybody do, something's going to happen. If you selling all your leave back, I feel like you putting yourself in danger right there, man. You earn that leave. You earn that title. It's probably no place in the world going to give you 30 days. You know what I mean?
Talking about
or give you this
leave
much
at any time?
Yeah, anytime. That's one of the questions on that. Just selling leave back anytime.
People, are these the use or lose? I'm thinking this might be coming from use or lose people more than.
No. I'm talking about it was a straight question. Can we sell back leave anytime?
Yeah. But I mean, if I was to use my imagination, I would think that whoever asked this question probably had use or lose days. And I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying? But I would think whoever asked the question probably had use or lose days. And, you know, use or lose, you have to take the leave. And they might be thinking like, man, I can make some money. You know what I'm saying? And if in that case, for instance, like me, I would buy leave right now. I would have bought leave off somebody who had some use or lose days and they wanted to sell it.
No, see, not like that, no. I'm talking about sell it back to the Navy, not just sell it to somebody else.
Oh, I thought that's what they was talking about, like trade and leave.
That was another question. Okay. Another question wasn't selling it to nobody. It was giving it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily selling it to nobody. Okay, though.
So like just trying to sell your leave back for some money? Nah, I mean, that's why they made it use or lose, fam. That's why they made it use or lose.
And you have to manage that too, though. And I know it's hard to manage sometimes too, especially you on deployment, especially you got shit to do. Especially for me, it was hard for me to take leave on sea duty, man.
Yeah.
Like it was hard.
Yeah.
You know, so.
What about?
But I know how it is, man.
What about the sharing of leave, though? Do you think that could be a thing? Like leave is like this virtual currency?
I think it's too much. I think it's too much to manage.
Imagine a world, man, a futuristic world where we could just leverage different things based off of our leave. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like some futuristic. I remember my boy Lee wanted me to write his eval. You know. Now, if we could rewind and then use our futuristic world of being able to sell leave, and I could go back to the shop that day when I was writing my eval, and Lee was like, "Come on, man, you write the eval, I do all the PMS." I'd be like, "Nah, man. How about you sell me like 5 of your leave days, though? I take care of it." And we got like a watch our app. You could just slide your leave over to somebody else. Man, that might be a better place. Hey. If we could sell use or lose days. It might be a better place, man.
Man, you know what, man? I never looked at it like that. Now I'm looking at it different now.
Yeah.
Boy, you right. You can get a whole lot of shit done, man.
Like, hey, imagine, like, look. Duty swaps. Duty swap. Hey, can you take my Saturday duty?
I got a day. Got 2 days.
Give me 2 days. Give me 2 days of your leave. I'll take your Saturday duty.
Oh man, the whole world finna change, man.
Yo, that's a game. If we can swap leave, that's a game changer in the Navy, man. Imagine that.
Yeah, man, that is.
That's crazy.
Game changer. That's big right there, man. I never thought of it like that, man. Yeah. That is like freaking huge right there.
That's sick, man. Like, you know, some of these dudes want to go to the command right when they leave the last command. Some of these dudes ready to go. They don't want the 30. Like, you know, we want it. We talked about we want our 30. But some of these dudes ready to go. I mean, for me, like day 23, I probably was like, yo, I could go in a day. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, no, I'm going to hit the whole 30. Now I regret it. But, man, imagine if you could sell your 30 on a quick on your, boop, boop. Now you got my 30.
Done.
What?
That's my 30, and I could do what I want to do with my 30.
That changes the power structure of the military right now.
Oh yeah, man.
The dude with the most leave might be that guy, man. Like at the tip top.
Man.
Tip top.
Think about this though, man. You trying to take 14 days of leave, but you ain't got but 8.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What you need me to do?
Yo, imagine that work day. Imagine that work day though. Like the person, you ever had something else on your mind at work, and now like on your mind is you need 6 more leave days, and you know who got them? It's like this ET2, or whatever. You DC whoever. It's like this ET2 you got to get to. Sometimes everybody try to talk to you. Hey, Leggings. You like, man, I need to find Wilson, man. I need to go talk to ET2, man. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? You going to figure out this guy that got the, hey, bro, I heard you got like 6 days. What you going to do for me? That it's gonna be. It'll get crazy too. Though. It'll be some fights. It'll be some crazy.
Oh yeah. Hey man, he didn't give me them days. Yeah, it'll be some DRBs.
Yeah. Or you gave somebody your days, but they ain't do what they were supposed to do. Yeah. That'll be a whole nother group of instructions.
Yep. Most definitely. That'd be something we'll probably say you can't do it on our ship. Can't do it over here, man. That ain't
crazy,
happening.
Man. So
sign page 13 if you do it.
Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, be crazy, man.
So I know man. I plan on I know we want to talk to a detailer, and I've been talking to a detailer, but I don't know if the detailers have fully recovered from COVID yet. Yeah, and what I mean by recover from COVID is I don't know if they are back in the office yet, man. Because a lot of people still having issues with detailers.
Well, I tell you what, the issues that are happening is like crazy to me, man. Detailers, listen up, man. Listen up, detailers. How are we expecting these guys to transfer with a month left? Right? I know it's things out there that you can sign and you can do to do household goods and do your movement. But guess what, man? People got families, man. People got families. They trying to do different things. We're saying this person need to transfer in July and he's going to get his orders in June.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's crazy talk, man. I don't care about the fact, and then they may have a schooling route at the same time. And we're now asking sailors to go to school first, then come back to their command, then transfer. What type of crap is that, man?
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So let's not do that. Let's set these sailors up for success. And detailers, I know it's not you. You know, it's people that's higher than you. It's people that's there, but you know, you are the detail. At the end of the day, you the one that's sending those orders out though. Right. So I know it's more Manning. I know it's Manning got something to do with it and other people in the office. It's a money side of it. It's everything. I know that. But we got to put something in place to help these sailors more. And I know we doing things like let them sign something from the command so they can start doing household good movement. But that can't be the all be all. Yeah. We need to get back on track, man. This COVID thing this stuff is like moving, and you guys need to move too.
You think you know what I mean? I got a question about detailers. You think that the Navy need more detailers? Tick tick tick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think you know what? I think you do need more detailers, man. You think about that for a second. I never thought about that either, man. But think about that for a second. One detailer is in charge of E7 and E9. You know how many E7s and E9 in that rate could be? That could be a lot of people, and they have to manage. And again, I've never been a detailer before. You may have help in there. I just don't know.
Yeah.
You may have help in there. We don't know. So detailers, talk to us. You guys may have somebody in there. But
I would love to know how, like the inner workings of that. You might have to find.
Yeah.
We might have
because
to find
I like to know that too.
Because it's a lot. I think it would be a lot on one detailer, and mostly every time that you want to be able to effectively affect a person or a group of people, you do a smaller group, right? When we really wanted to do the whole inclusion, and when we talk about diversity, we talk about stuff like that, we want to get a smaller group. When we do focus groups, we want to talk to a smaller group. When teachers want to have more interactive impact with students, they want to get to a smaller group. And I just believe a detailer with a lot like less touch points would probably have a better. Now they would have to be on the same page, which probably would make a whole nother disaster. And not bad to detailers, but just having to have more than one detailer, and they all got to communicate about where they send people and stuff like that. That would have to get figured out. But I just think that, like, if I'm a detailer and I got 700 people talking to me about jobs, or if I at the time got 90 to 100 people talking to me about jobs, I'm not gonna have a personal touch to any of that. You know, it ain't gonna be much. It's gonna be like a surgeon who watch people die every night. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different approach to that sometimes. And everybody got their personal issues and we talked about it before, but everybody got their personal issues that they trying to talk to the detailer about. Like I got this going on with this going on, and yo, if you the detailer, and all you get 35 emails with personal issues, I would think naturally the first thing you're gonna take out is the personal part, and then you're gonna read whatever it is, the professional or the career choice that's happening, and then you're gonna weigh those versus the personal parts. How many detailers heard that somebody's wife can't move because they in school or something like that? Like how many detailers have heard that? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, your relationship could be on it like the breaking point, and you trying to explain that to a detailer. That detailer don't necessarily care.
Else given.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I definitely want to talk to a detailer because I think it's unfair to talk about it if we don't, because we gotta shoot them some bell as well, right? Yeah.
I tell you what, details. First off, man, you know, I might have said some crazy stuff right there, man. But I love you guys, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? I may have to transfer again, man. I love you guys, but at the same time, man, answer your damn phone too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? God, can we get enough people in the office so you guys can answer the phone sometime and talk to some sailors, man?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, you know, emails may be a little, you know, timely getting back or whatever. You guys normally get back, but man.
Yeah,
details don't answer that phone too much, man.
I don't want to cape for them too much. You know, I probably sounded like I was caping for them too, but I don't want to cape for them. But like it's a lot of people that need that help. You know, that one-on-one help or whatever like that.
Most definitely.
And then real quick, I want to touch on. I think we might have to dedicate a whole episode to this next topic. But I want to real quick get some initial thoughts because it's been word about adding a new core value. And that core value being respect. And this would be the first time since 1992 that we messed with the core values. I'm gonna talk for a second on my thing, what I think about it, and then we'll, you know, I want to see what you guys say about it. But for me, you know, honor, courage, commitment, it flows right. Like we've been saying it for a while. We could always add more things, right? But then we would be. I would like to think our core values already encompass. So first thing I'm gonna say is I'm not mad at adding respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that. But I feel like it's in the honor part. But I mean that's me. But I feel like we should everything else should be understood. Like inclusion. Everything else already should be understood. We could get to that point where we starting to add way too much stuff. You know what I'm saying? We get to that point where we could be like honor, courage, commitment, respect, duty, devotion, like where we just adding things to encompass it. I feel like we already encompass. So again, I'm not mad at adding respect. I'm not against it. I actually like it. I'm not saying I don't like change. But I'm saying that I don't want us to get to a point where we feel like, and I feel like this with everything. I don't want to get to a point where we just got 16 words as our core values because we feel like we have to keep adding a new word to represent us. If we wasn't already showing respect to each other, then we were doing something wrong. And based off of, I know we got a lot of issues in America. I know we've had issues, and I know we've had some of these issues in the service. Fortunately for me, I haven't experienced some of these issues outright. I don't know what happened behind closed doors or covertly, but overtly, I haven't experienced many of the issues that some people have had the misfortune to experience. And I hold them and their experiences very dear to my heart. But I believe if we're doing it right, we are showing each other respect at all times. So that's why I'm not mad about the inclusion, but I also don't know if it's 100% necessary.
Yeah, that's my take on it. Either I think when the whole respect thing, I think if we are holding people to our core values, you're gonna get respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what we are lacking at it more and more each day when it comes to what we do, is holding our standards, holding everyone accountable for what we already have in place. Yeah. Respect is a big deal, man. You have to have it in order to lead. You got to have it in order to do anything. You have to respect each other, man. You have to respect each other. So most definitely it's one of the biggest things, one of the biggest topics, the biggest things we want to talk about. But I think
I be feeling like it's an admission of guilt. Like sometimes when we do shit like this, like, oh yeah, let's add respect. Like, man, we've been having respect. So I be feeling like it's an admission of guilt. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, it's been years we ain't been respecting each other. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, but sometimes though, in this case, sometimes things need to be spelled out.
Yeah, and I understand that. And
now that's the thing. Sometimes having it on there, added to it on there, now people see it. Yeah, you see it. And now they kind of can understand a little bit more. And that's sometimes it has to be like that, man. Like, believe it or not.
Yeah, you see it.
We know people supposed we know for a fact people supposed to respect each other. Yeah. We know that, right? But if it ain't in black and white and no one looking at it, it could be, it's a little different.
Yeah, it's not implied. So, it's right here. It's in your face. It's like when you got goals and you write them down. Now we're going to say respect as much as we can, and we're going to drill this into each other's head. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not mad at it. I like it. I just don't want us the next issue we have with either diversity or whatever, for us to keep, adding different names. And I'm a big fan of Task Force 1. I like what they're doing. We need to talk about them. One of our next episodes a lot.
Yeah.
We need to talk about definitely. Task Force 1 and everything they're doing. I see the Navy also moving toward a lot of apps and tech and stuff like that. So I'm a big fan of all of that stuff. And it seems like the tech is getting better. I don't know too much about Flink Speed yet, though. I know a lot of people having problems with.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm hearing.
Speaking of tech and apps, I just finished a book. I read a book called 2034. I want to shout out Senior Chief OS actually, who told me about it. Dirk actually told me about it.
He told me about it too. I just haven't read it yet.
I figured you wasn't gonna read it, man. But yeah, so he told me about it. I got the audiobook version, right? And the crazy dope thing about the audiobook version is that they talk to the author after, right? Admiral Stavridis or something. He's written I don't know his name. I'm not familiar with him, but he's written a lot of books, non-fiction books about the Navy. But hey man, if you already bought the paperback book, which I know you didn't, you probably downloaded the audiobook, but I know you ain't do that yet either. But download the audiobook, right? Download the audiobook when you get a chance, bro, and check it out, man. It's a dope ass book. It's scary as hell. It's probably the scariest thing that I've experienced this year. As far as like movies, books, or whatever. I normally read nonfiction. So this 2034 is fiction. So the book is called 2034, A Novel of the Next World War by Elliot, Ackerman, and Admiral James Stavridis. However you say that name. Bruh. Yeah. It's about us going to war with China. It's a multi-person multi-geographic book. It's crazy as hell. Super scary, bro. Like, we lose cities. Like, it's so much stuff that happened in this book, but it's all built around, it all starts with technology. The book is built around people, which is great. It's like 5 characters or something that the book kind of revolves around. Really good. It's different. Yeah. Another thing I like about it is, as an audiobook, it's different voice actors for different characters. So I think that's dope because you can actually separate the characters. I'm telling you, man, this probably going to be some of the most entertaining shit that you experience. Really? Yeah. And it's an audiobook. Like, I'm comparing it to TV shows and movies. When I first turned it on, this is for everybody, that if you're an engineer and you don't understand that combat systems talk, the first like 2 to 3 minutes, you might be like, yo, what the hell? Like, I don't understand this, man. What's going on? Because they talking that, we was talking about that navigation talk. Well, I don't know all that stuff. But after it gets into it, like after like the first chapter, you start asking questions, and then things start happening, man, and it happens fast. I mean, like they coming at us hard, bro. I was scared through like the first 3/4 of this book. Like, yo, this shit, and all of it seems like some of it's like seem like it could be pretty far fetched, but when you think about tech and how tech works, it can happen very fast. And so after you finish the book, what I can talk a little bit more about is the Admiral's interview. That's why I think the audiobook is dope, because after the audiobook, they actually interviewed this retired Admiral who wrote it. And he's talking about just tech and how he believes that we should probably have a tech force. The same way we got a Space Force, an Air Force, a Navy. He believes at this point we should have a tech force, whether that be like 15,000 people or 50,000 people or something. We should probably have a force that's dedicated to tech, and we should have sanctions. The same way we got like sanctions with like nuclear and stuff like that, we should probably have some cyber sanctions. He actually said we should have a cyber force, and he believed we should have some. Right now it's no real, he says it's like no real like terms of agreement when it comes to cyber warfare. And I think right now it's a whole lot of cyber shit going on.
Man, if you told me that right there, I probably wouldn't believe it, man. I probably think it is some type of force, something out there we doing.
ITs?
But
ITs and CTs or something?
ITs and
like, I don't know, but his thing is like we should have a whole force with their whole operating is only about cyber. And that was a good, I feel like that was a good take. And that's where it starts. This book starts with cyber, but then it gets quick to like us losing ships, bro, like carriers. Like I don't want to get too deep into it, but we losing carriers in 10 minutes. Like carriers sinking in 10 minutes time. Wiped off the 3,000 settlers, wiped off the earth. All of that. It's a crazy book. Us in China, man. I'm telling you, man. And you're going to keep listening as an American, because you're going to be like, yo, when do we start winning this shit? Like, what's going on? And then at the end of it, it's like, did we even win? You know? That's why you want to hear, and that ain't even, I'm not saying if we won or not, but at the end of it, it's like, who won? And it's a quote in there, be like, no battle is ever won or lost. They just like experienced or whatever like that. And this book is a pure indication of that. You got to read it, man. Get the audio book. It's definitely a keeper. It's definitely a really good book. I'll give it 5 stars, man. Very exciting. It actually made me want to get some more nonfiction.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Well, I guess, you know, that your famous book, man, leave us to one more thing, man. Yeah. And that's the famous movie, man. Like our movie prediction. Man, we picked a good movie, guys. I'm telling you, it was a good movie we picked. American Sniper, man. American Sniper. So it was a, you know, Clint Eastwood movie.
Clint.
Old Clint, man. You know what? Clint in his old age, man, be putting out. But this is his. You know, this is still today his highest gross movie, man.
Yeah. This is a big
highest gross movie. He made some good movies, but this movie right here is his highest.
And they made it like a year. They made it like a year after Chris Kyle passed. Clint Eastwood been doing that a lot too, like grabbing the most current event and making a movie based off of it. Yeah,
most definitely, man. But it's a good movie, man. I know. You gonna have a different take on it than I have on the movie, but this is what I'm gonna say about the movie, man. This movie touches everything on what at that time people was going through, right? The PTSD side of it, you know, the family side of it. Then the movie itself, you know, being in the military and all that type of stuff, man. So I'm gonna tell you right now, man. When I rank this movie up there, man, I rank it up there high in the war movies that we look at and talking about wars and things like that. I rank this movie way up there, man. I really never put a movie as a 5, but it's most definitely a 4 or a little bit higher on my scale when it comes to this movie, man, because I feel like it's a touching movie that everybody can sit down and watch. Because I know right now, if I was talking to my wife and say, oh, we're going to go watch this war movie, blah, 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 she'll probably be like, man, I don't want to watch no movie about no war. But this movie, it touches way more than just than just that though, and just shooting people and people dying and stuff. Is way more to the movie than that.
Yeah.
So that's my take on the movie, man. It was a real good movie, man. I know probably everybody listening probably done watched it already too.
Yeah.
It's a really
so
good movie.
I saw American Sniper before. I saw it when it first came out. And then I watched it again. I watched it again last night. I watched it with my wife while she was doing her homework. And while she was doing her homework, man, I can't ignore that San Fran mug, man. But when she was doing her homework, she looked up like quite a few. She damn near watched the whole movie, so I know it caught her attention. She had never watched it before. It's really good. It's excellent, man. Amazing movie. Of course, directed by Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood is a good director. I mean, like, he's one of the best directors of our time, and that wasn't even his primary thing. I don't want to go too deep into Clint Eastwood, but Clint Eastwood is a really good director, and he's at this point sprouted some seeds in Hollywood, and he got a bunch of people that have worked with him that went on and to make good movies and stuff like that. But it was based off a true story. First off, right? It was based off Chris Kyle. Over 160 confirmed kills, and a Navy SEAL sniper, and he pretty much joined the Navy just to do something for his country, and he activated pretty much right after he got married when September 11th happened. So September 11th happened, he got married, and then they was hyped. They was ready to go. They got the orders. They was ready to go. And I think
think about that for a second, man. Let me one thing. Think about that for a second. I wonder how many people joined the Navy after September 11th. You know what I mean? I never thought about those numbers, man. But people was like, back in that time when that happened, man, people was ready to defend their country, man. Like, what's up?
Yeah, they were ready.
They was really ready to defend their country.
They were ready to go. So in Chris Kyle's case, he had finished school, became a SEAL. He met his wife, and then them two were watching TV. The towers got hit, and then they found out shortly, right after their ceremony, during their wedding ceremony, that he had to go over. Then I think he volunteered for like 2 to 3 other tours over there, because he did like 4 tours. Yeah. He did 4 tours, and it was tearing his family apart. You know what I'm saying? All of the action, all of the stories. He's a legend. They called him the legend. Everything that happened was, crazy. It's built around a few things. It's built around the family aspect. It's built around the action and the things that happened while he was over. And it's also another subplot here is this other sniper, Mustafa, or whoever his name is, going to war with him to try to kill him or whatever. So he's like number 1 on Mustafa's list. Yeah. But really good story, really good movie. And I mean, you can't really ask for a better performance from Bradley Cooper. I think Sienna Miller played his wife. Real good. I was joking with my wife. I'm like, damn, every time he come home, it's like a major difference in the family, like another baby's being born or something like that. And his wife is going crazy. But all in all, real good. I give it 5 stars. We need more movies like this in this time. It's been a while since we had a movie like this. But yeah, American Sniper. And I think that about concludes our podcast today. Thank you for listening to Permission to Speak Freely. And we can't wait to see you, hear from you. Remember to shoot us an email, talk to us on Instagram, hit us up in all the comments, and just, keep in touch with us.
For sure.